Adios, muchacha. You go.
Boom! We're off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy. If you ask him if he can smell a discount, he'll give you a 5 across the eyes. What's up, Zach Elias?
Smell a discount? Miles away.
I never
20%
heard
off.
that joke or the 5 across the eyes. That was something that went clear over my head.
5 across the eyes is marriage. You never heard Jews can smell a discount?
Eh,
What's wrong with you?
I know air's free. That one I've heard.
Everything's on sale in Baltimore, huh?
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. Rate, review, subscribe, download, do all the stuff. Today is episode 99, and we're calling this one the Pierre, which is where I spent my weekend. And boy, did I have a doozy. That we will get to.
I thought that's the middle guy in the Eiffel Tower. I thought that's what you did this weekend.
But first, we have another Listener donated beer for the podcast. Timothy Tyler Knoll coming in with a Southern Tier pumpkin, which I was so kind to pass along to you, my friend.
Timothy Tyler Knoll.
My buddy Timmy, that you give me shit because I call him Timmy.
He sounds like a presidential assassin. Timothy Tyler Knoll. Yeah.
So, Zach, I gave you one. You refrigerate it. Tell me about this beer from Southern Tier.
Southern Tier Seasonal Pumpkin. Yeah. Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Pumpkin pie in a glass. 8.6.
8.6.
I'll see you in the Renaissance era, Zelda. God help us. Best by Best by 7/20, 2023. So we're right in that kill zone. That's really all they got about it. So down the hatch.
That's it. Release the poppin'.
Oh, God.
It's great. You have one of them.
Smells like I'm going to hate it. What was that?
I'm
taking a sip. You sip too. I'm going to hate it. I don't hate it. Ooh, now I do. Now I do. Oh, like 2 seconds later, it's super sweet and super pumpkin pie.
Oh, I love it.
It is pumpkin pie in a glass or in a bottle or in my belly. It's like that Bill Burr skit. I got that pumpkin shit.
I laughed so hard. That was a great.
That was my thing.
The jack-o'-lantern.
It
was fantastic.
The Sam Adams winter pumpkin lager was the funniest thing SNL's done in years. It just nothing. He was amazing.
Zach, this past weekend, I had the pleasure of going to a simcha of my Asian friend at the Pierre, which I guess I didn't grow up in New York City, but the Pierre is right on par with the Plaza, the Waldorf. I mean, it was the former Four Seasons, right?
Yeah, it's a hot hotel. I've been there once 100 years ago for like a drink. It was like, I don't really remember it.
A $34 old fashioned?
Something like that, yeah. It was nice.
It was nice. Yeah, it was very nice. This wedding we went to, I have to say, it was one of the best appetizer cocktail hours that I've ever been to.
Hour.
Look, they had oysters that the guy couldn't shuck furiously enough. They had sliders, there was open bar, there was shrimp, there was crab claws, but they had Peking duck. And that line went on forever, and I love Peking duck. And you basically had to wait in this long line. You got to the front where they made you this little bao sandwich, with the little duck
lettuce thing.
And
taco.
Being at a wedding, they can't say no to you. It's like improv. When you say something to somebody at the wedding who's working there, they basically have to say yes or I'll see if I can do that for you. They can't say no.
This
guy
had those at weddings. I've argued my way into better scotches, and I've failed a few times too, but usually I succeed. But usually you turn a no into a yes.
This guy is making these tiny little fakakta Peking duck things, and every time I hit this line, I got one little duck sandwich, and I said, "Can you give me a handful of duck on the side?" And he had a whole thing and just kept on going.
You put duck in your hand? Like,
Zach had a plate. Come on.
I don't know. You said handful of duck.
His hand. The guy had a handful of Duck Snyder up to bat.
Yeah.
But
Julia
this guy,
she goes downstairs. It's a handful of duck.
I'm more a mallard myself.
Yeah, we've derailed.
He would give me the little bao sandwich and a handful of duck. Zach, I hit that station 3 times. It was glorious.
Wow.
Are you a duck guy? You're dressed like a duck tonight.
Yeah. Well, I got a golf outing shirt that looks like it's from the 80s, but I got this year.
I like because it's going to be topical.
3/4 sleeve. Wait, golf or the 3/4 sleeve, or just my wardrobe in general? That's mostly from just raffles and things.
The last one.
Nice.
So there was a couple of moments, Zach, that I was just in awe of what happened. The first one was when I went up to the bar. I won't name names, but one of the guys in the bridal party.
Craig Stone for the win. I'm sorry.
This guy in the bridal party, I go up and we start talking because the bachelor party for Albert hasn't happened yet. And they're talking about doing Vegas or maybe, at one point we were talking Monte Carlo, I think, or Monaco. I get those confused, but we're sitting there and this guy.
If you're having a party of the Pierre, it doesn't matter which one you go to, baller.
Guy says to me, hey, so you would go somewhere it's not Vegas? Yeah, sure. Where do you want to go? He goes, would you go to Finland? I said, sure, I'd go to Finland. And then he goes, what about Thailand? And now we're standing there with this friend who is hammered and another guy.
Reno. Let's go.
The other friend is so sober. And we're sitting there and this guy turns to me and he goes, you would do Thailand? I'm like, yeah, sure. And the sober friend rolls his eyes. And I immediately, something's going on. I said, what's going on? He goes, dude, hear me out, lady boys. And I went, what? And the sober guy says, dude, we already saw the videos you were showing earlier. Like, I don't think that's what people are into. He goes, no. It's literally the hottest girl you'll ever be with. But she has a penis.
What?
The groomsman is trying to sell me to go to Thailand for lady boys.
And that's the selling point?
That's his
number one selling point, is that you can get a girl with a schwanz.
But she's good looking. He then...
he's good looking. No, he's good looking. Like, let's call it what it is. He's good looking.
This guy, email me. We email. I get an email back the other day being like, cool, let's set it up. I'm not sure if I'm actually going, but that was the...
You're going to get a dance from some girl with some hairy boys? What the hell's wrong with you?
No, this is not for me, but this was a guy at the wedding who, God bless if that's what you're into, but the way he was trying to sell it to me, I was like, I don't know if that's my vibe, sir.
Yeah, we're not on the same page here.
So the other thing,
get real weird with it. Not anything goes in Reno. What doesn't fly in Vegas goes in Reno.
They're very far, if I hear. It's like 5 hours away, right? It's not even close.
Yeah, not even close.
The other highlight at the bar. Now, I don't think you've ever heard this story, but one of my friends, a female, she started dating a guy who, girls give guys all these little cutesy-pootsy little names. It's like, oh, it's ear guy, and oh, it's spaghetti on the first date guy, or whatever it is. And this guy that you're kidding, right?
I don't know how things work. This from Genesis, the Johnson administration.
Right. Yeah, but guys usually name it by something like, oh, it's Pinky up the toe girl. Pretty much. So this guy...
Dancer with the schwanz. Go on.
This guy, 2 years ago, had a flip phone. To the point that she names him Flip. Until it became a serious relationship, this kid behind his back is Flip. We all call him Flip. Apparently he knows about it, so we can say that on the open, but it's totally applicable. I mean, he had a flip phone, so he goes by Flip. Well, Flip at the wedding flips out. Now, his drink was, I think it was vodka with, what did he have? Like vodka soda or vodka ginger? It was something like kind of really weird. And apparently at one point, the bartender cut him off, which I didn't know he was that drunk, but the bartender cuts him off. He gets so mad, he gets in the bartender's face and goes, hey, go fuck yourself. The 60-year-old bartender in a tux goes, you want to go fight in the streets? And he goes, yeah, sure. The whole thing went tits up, Zach. So the fight didn't actually happen. They didn't roll. But the fact that we're at an open bar wedding and this guy got cut off, it's hysterical. Like, what's wrong with them?
Fight player one on the street? It's insanity.
So the highlight of this thing, which I don't think you even know what happened. All I did was when it happened, I texted you immediately. And I said, Zach, I'm at an all-Asian wedding and I was just in Squid Game. So we're all sitting around our tables and they come over and they give maybe like 3 or 4 balloons per table. And they just said, hold the balloons. We'll explain in a little bit. Okay, great. More or less, they said, if you have a balloon, get on the dance floor. There's 50 of us. They give us with a little ribbon. They say, tie it to your leg and then wait for instructions. And
like a bar mitzvah game, like one of those freaky Coke and Pepsi games.
Oh, it was way better. So we're there, and I knew exactly how this game was going to go. So the first thing I did was untie my shoe laces so I could put the string closer to the top of my foot. And the next thing I did was grab a fork and put it in my pocket, just in case I knew it was going to happen. We now all go to
shank you.
We now go to the dance floor, and they said, in any means possible, and I quote, anything you have to do, pop everybody else's balloon on the dance floor when you're there. So the first thing we do is we look through like all our 4 or 5 friends, and we said, hey, truce between all of us that until we're at the end, which is smartest thing to do. The first thing you do is make a pact. So we do that, and I realized very quickly, lift your foot in the air, because basically people are using their feet to stomp on everybody else's balloon, and you hear popping going off left and right, and it's just like, player 44 has been eliminated. But I wish they did that. But it would have been great.
I would call truce with my friends and then pop their balloons immediately. I'd be that.
You're an asshole.
I'd be that. I'm just shocking.
So I moved to the back. I lift my left foot in the air because you can't pop it in the air. The thing is basically it gets popped when you go to lunge for somebody else's and they kind of come back at you. But I now take the fork out of my pocket, flip it around, and behind people, I am jabbing them in the balloons. And everybody has this look on their face, and the whole thing happens. The whole thing happens so fast.
Oh, you just froze on a cliffhanger. Dude, this is like episode 4 of Squid Game. Look at the face he's making. So what?
Do you hear me?
Now I do. Yeah, go nuts. This guy. Dead air.
I've popped a bunch of people's things. We're down to the final 2. And of course, now I can't use the fork anymore. Although my friends from the sidelines are all yelling at me, you're saying woo. I can't believe you did that to people. I didn't do it to my own friends. And him and I are going back and forth. At one point, I'm like, look over there. He doesn't look. He didn't fall for that one. We're jabbing at each other. I even fake a ball tap, Zach. I literally fake hitting him.
You gotta go for the real thing.
He doesn't go for us. Next thing you know, I finish in second. There is video of this that I will be sending you and posting. It is fantastic. It was great. I finished in second.
Did you just dive and bite your balloon?
I was thinking to myself afterwards, I wish I would have dove at his legs. But at the same time, it was 200 people, maybe Chinese mafia at the wedding. Probably not a good idea with this gentleman to be doing that at his legs. Also didn't want to be that guy.
Oh, it's chaos. You got to be that guy. It's survival out there.
I was thinking,
what do you get for winning?
Pride. You know what he got? Looking at my punum sitting on the side, pouting for at least 5 minutes. Also, fantastic. I'm soaking wet in sweat. I mean, it was absolutely miserable. I left that balloon tied to my foot all night. I was so upset. I was like, motherfucker, I can't believe it. And then to make matters worse, the next day at the brunch, I had to sit next to the cocksucker.
Yeah, they planned that.
I was so mad at it. But no, I have it, and I will be posting it. It was great. Of all the like bar mitzvah bullshit wedding games, it was a lot of fun.
That's pretty good. Yeah, it's physical. I like that.
Not as bad, Zach, as the most racist things that happened to me all weekend. First, at the bar, I am standing in front of the bar, like looking to order a drink, and you have to know that there was maybe.
Go on. So, how have I been? Great.
Guy comes over to me, points to a bottle of scotch, points to the ice, and I looked at him. I said, "You want a drink?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I just felt like, oh, he thinks I work here.
Yeah. Did you make him the bottle? Did you make him the scotch?
No, I told the bartender to freaking make it. I'm like, what do you want me to do?
Oh, I would have made him the nastiest drink I could find. Let me give you the signature drink over here. Give him something just gross. The booze that came with the venue.
Not as bad as at the brunch the next day when I used chopsticks to grab some food, and one of the ladies in the bridal party turns and goes, "Oh, you use chopsticks very well." That was the worst. That was like, come on.
Really restrained yourself on that accent there, huh?
I could go on and on, Zachy, but you teased a story to me, and I have gone on my way. What happened with your daughter?
My daughter's a disaster. My daughter's a blue comedian. So they don't use as much pencil and paper now in school as they used to. Save a tree. So they all have iPads at school and such, and you just you do your work on the iPad, you hit submit, and it goes to the teacher's portal, and they grade it or whatnot. So there were several different spelling things, and they would give you 2 letters and 2 blanks. So like letter blank blank letter blank blank letter.
Blank a doodle do. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. So hers was so we get home and she goes, I did something bad at school. She's like all upset. Jenna's home first. Goes, what'd you do? Well, I had trouble with a word at school and I couldn't think of anything. Blank blank CK. And my daughter writes fuck and hits submit. The balls on her. And the teacher didn't see it because it wasn't like you just handed it in. It's like waiting in her queue to see my little
so you can
daughter.
Get into the story. You can always hey, teach, just so you know.
Well, right, but you could in the old days you could go erase it or something. No, this is just out there in the clouds somewhere, and she's just waiting for this little dice clay to show up in her homework.
What's the problem? I don't see any of the issues with this.
There's no problem because technically she did get the question right. Let's start there.
It's all that matters.
The teacher should have known better. We were trying to think, is anything worse? There is one worse one that would be more jarring to the teacher, I think. I think that is worse. But anyways, we wrote an apology, but Zoe also wrote an apology, like saying, I'm sorry I cursed in school. Here are some better words. And she rattles off a couple better words.
Okay.
Then she wanted to put suck on there. We said, your other words are fine. You don't need to go the extra mile. But duck was plenty. She put 5 other words, not cock.
Handful of duck, Snyder.
My daughter had the balls to write fuck and think, you know what? Let's just hit submit and see where this thing goes.
Any punishment for that? Or was it
from us?
No. Yeah.
We told her, hey, if the only word you can think of is a curse word, maybe raise your hand and ask for help. Then we ran to the bedroom and laughed our asses off and texted everybody we knew. Because it is just hysterical. Because she's all little and sweet and cute. And the only word in her mind was fuck.
Yeah.
She just hit submit.
No, I was curious if she got in trouble because I saw
the teacher hadn't seen it until the teacher didn't see it until I think tomorrow when she's back. But
we still don't know the end of this?
No, because the teacher's been out for the last 2 days. She's back tomorrow. But the teacher knows that at least we're on top of it.
Where's she been? Got the vid?
I don't know what she's got. She's got something. No, I think got the herp. Who knows what she is?
You got the herp. You don't miss school for that.
It's not ideal. Anyway, no, we don't know how this is going to end. But the teacher, how mad could you be? A, it's hysterical. B, she's correct.
She's correct.
I would be more upset if the teacher gives her a hard time and marks her wrong. I'd rather her say bad word, but check.
Are you going to go to bat for her, or are you be like, no, you're right?
Well, now I will. If the teacher takes a point off, I go to war. That's when the bench is empty. Because the point is more important than the lesson.
I think the teacher's wrong here. I think that's a clear, because when you sent me that, I actually I went, actually, fuck is the first word I thought of. Why not?
Well, you and a second grader are on the same page.
When you get to the higher levels of doctorism, the way I have, and you have to take these advanced tests, they say the quicker you can go through something, the better, and that's how you have more time for the harder questions.
So apparently Zoe could pass the physical therapy test if blank blank CK is on there somewhere.
Physical therapy test, multiple choice. It's 4, and no multiples. So
just 4 questions. That's the whole thing. 4 multiple choice questions, and you're a physical therapist. Here's your massage gun, and here's your Ron Katz. Good to go.
Draw a stick figure, and here's your degree. Hang your shingle. No, they basically, here's your Ron Katz. It's funny. Yeah. They start you off with your first patient.
Yeah, it's him. He's got a bunch of them.
I'm just saying that it's 3 sections of 50 questions, and it's all multiple choice. And basically, you want more time for the other stuff. I don't know. I heard this story, and I was wondering if she got in trouble because I saw a story online that a mother took her son's Pokemon cards. I say Pokemon because of Christopher Montesanti, and burned them in front of him because he did something wrong. And I was like, that is great. Pretty horrible, but great.
But it's a fortune to rebuy them then. She just gave herself a headache.
Well, she started with Charmander.
I don't know what any of that means. I'd rather wash her mouth out with soap.
It's the fire one, Zach. Come on. Work with me here.
I'm not working with I'd rather wash her mouth out with soap, old school.
So,
Dial, that crappy soap, or Zest.
Pishadoo of the week. I have 3 candidates, Zachy, and you said you have 2?
I might, yeah. It's depending on if your candidates are my candidates.
Candidate number 1 was Chris Collinsworth on Sunday Night Football, making the observation of, man, I never realized how important Russell Wilson was to the Seahawks. Have you watched football?
He's an idiot. Go on.
He's the whole team. Russell Wilson's the
I know
whole
he's
team.
the whole team.
That was the dumbest thing. The dumbest thing I've ever heard watching football.
He's not a rocket scientist. Go on.
Candidate number 2. Did you hear about the America's Got Talent stunt that went wrong? Essentially, It was a straitjacket guy, and to make the stunt better, he was in the middle dangling. He had 2 cars on the outside, and at a certain point, the cars are released and they come together to essentially meet him. And he's supposed to get out of the straitjacket and cut himself free or whatever. He got out of the straitjacket, did not get free. There was no fail-safe on this. Dead. Cars together, dead.
In front of Simon Cowell? Died?
I don't think it was live at the thing, but it was like one of those recorded stunts, and it happened, and the guy's dead, and AGT has been put on hold for a hot second.
If it wasn't in front of the judges, keep going.
That's right. The only other one I had, which is UFC MMA related, I'm curious on your take on this. Essentially, this past weekend was a horrible, horrible main event with 2 girls that didn't even deserve to be on any type of main event. The third round, I forget which round it was, but one of the girls, you could tell she was getting her ass kicked, mentally given up, and they have the camera in the corner, and her coach laid into her. Enough, like, you feel bad because it's a girl, but it was all stuff that needs to be said. You want to do this? Get your shit together. I mean, it was brutal. And if it was a guy, you don't think twice about it. And this girl has had that speech before, maybe a year ago, came back and knocked the girl out in the third round or whatever it was. People are going crazy online today. Do you subscribe to she was defeated, you can't do that, you broke her, or you're in the fight game? Suck it up.
You're in the fight game. Get in there, Rock. Yeah, come on. You could well be a golfer if you don't want to do that shit.
All right, Zach. No, so none of mine are any good then, I guess. All my Pishadoos.
I don't know. Maybe Collinsworth's an idiot. Evander Kane, your hockey boy?
Go on. I know the story.
21 games for faking a vaccine card? How is he worse than any better than Collinsworth? He's a maniac. He just told Kyrie how to do it.
But this is also Evander Kane who was almost suspended for gambling. Like, he went Pete Rose. Got his problems.
But for me, the real idiot of the week is Carmen Mola. Are you familiar with her antics?
The name rings a bell.
Maybe she is a Spanish author who won a €1 million prize for literature. And she's a female author and is supposed to be this feminist icon in Europe. But when she went to go get the award, it turns out that she is actually 3 men. And they went up to get the award and broke the whole story open. Perfect.
Oh, that's really good. That's actually a great story. That's not even Pishadoo. That's like story. You get an award for that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, maybe. It was like the audible gasp in the room. It was like, yeah.
Well, wasn't it J.K. Rowling? What? Didn't J.K. Rowling, under a pen name, she tried to write like as a man and none of her stuff sold?
I don't know.
So it's almost like the reverse, whatever.
Maybe, yeah, but did she win I can't say fruit on the air. You're canceled. Anyway, no, I think it's Kane, but the Spanish literature story made me laugh.
That's really good.
3
That's
middle-aged
really,
dudes
really
just walk up there.
All right, Zach, we're going on to trivia, and the topic for this week's trivia, I am going with, in a segue from your daughter's story, four-letter words that end in CK. Okay. Got it?
I got it.
Question number 1. A strip of porous material up which liquid fuel is drawn by capillary action to the flame in a candle.
I don't understand the question.
The answer is a 4-letter word that ends in CK. That your daughter didn't come up with any of these for her thing. She went with fuck.
Yeah. It's going to be
it's also a shitty trilogy with Keanu Reeves.
Wick. Oh.
There it is.
You could have said the string in the candle. What did you
I'm trying to make this difficult. You're a college graduate. I mean,
if you think,
come on.
Yeah, and the first word I came up with was cock. So what am I? All right, go on.
Question the second.
Were those movies good? I've heard they were good. I never saw any of them.
I've never seen any of them. Apparently, the first ones were really good. Question the second. A hard blow. The verb form to hit forcefully.
Sock.
Very good. You got one. See, you can get these. Question number 3. A knuckle of meat, especially of pork or ham.
Is a knuckle of meat? It's going to be a
Especially
rock of meat?
Also, you can do this to a loogie.
Hock? A
Hock.
hock of meat? That's a thing?
A ham hock. You've never heard that before?
No, I don't eat ham.
Okay, Jill. Question number 4.
Feels slimy to be ham. I don't know why they slime it up.
Your nape.
My nape is a neck.
Very good. NECK. See, we're doing stuff here.
Yeah.
And the last one, question number 5. His real name is David Rainey. He gained fame as a cast member on The Real World San Francisco in '94. He became notorious as the second ever Real World cast member ever to be evicted from the house due to his increasingly antagonistic relationship with his housemates. Bike messenger guy.
What? No, I don't know who he is.
His name is, or his middle name, I think it's which he may have changed to, is Puck. P-U-C-K.
Puck.
That was a hard one.
Like, if you didn't go with like the Shakespearean character, you went with the Real World San Francisco. Good for you.
This guy
should be getting that one.
He was famous for being horrible to, like, keep in mind, this was 94, and they had Pedro Zamora, that like the most openly, I think he had HIV, he was gay, he was whatever, and I want to say he died. He was horrible on air to this guy. It was really bad, but I remember him mostly for the first time I ever saw somebody blow snot rockets. Just constantly, like, just constantly. And they were danglers, man. I think they had action.
Action. Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Before we sign off,
these 4-letter words.
See, there you go. It was a little harder than you thought it was, huh?
Yes. Well, she could have raised her hand and said, I got nothing here. Give me some Real World cast member. Give me some suggestions. But nope, she just rolled with it.
The reason that I was commenting on your shirt earlier is because the whole Squid Game thing at the wedding, you're basically wearing the shirt. All you need is the numbers on it. That's why I said it'll come in.
This is the closest thing I could find with it. That's why I'm wearing this one today.
Did you not like the thing? Did you not like the Instagram
post? I love
post?
the tease thing. I loved it.
Okay,
I commented on it. We both of us looked good.
I didn't realize how hard it was to like turn faces. I couldn't do that. So you basically have one body like going this way, and the person has a crick in his neck.
Oh, it's good.
10,000 years.
This is the closest thing I have to Squid Game.
It was good. I thought
it was 45 billion won. By the way, why don't I just drop some zeros? 10,000 won for like a stick of gum is $1. 10,000 won.
Get it.
Just start knocking zeros off and make this thing palatable. Like with Lira. Who cares?
We're talking about doing a big fraternity trip next year to Colombia, where the people going.
A bad idea, dude.
They've done it already.
If you make it back, you're okay.
So that's the joke, is that a couple of these people that are going have already done this trip. So they kind of know what to do, where to go, how to do it, and make sure everything's okay. And somebody sent
Julia,
out.
Bogota has him now.
I'd be in the Cali cartel, if anything. But
if you think so.
Somebody on one of my text strings sends out a thing saying, go with these guys to Colombia. And they put out the Monopoly, go to jail, go directly to jail, do not collect $200 or something like that. And then I Googled it. Do you know what $200 in Colombian money equals in American money? Take a guess. Like
Colombian dollars?
$200 Colombian dollars. And I want you to be insane.
They say dollars?
It's not dollars, it's cents. It's 200 Colombian pesos. In
right,
American dollars is how many cents?
I was gonna say about 62 cents.
6 cents, and I'm rounding up.
Amazing.
That's great.
So great. So when they call Julia for like a shit ton of money, it's gonna be like $19 just in the mail. Go, and then she still has to see if she wants to pay it.
Last bit of good news next week.
She already got the ring. What else do she need you for?
Episode 100 is next week, where we're going to do something big. We're not telling anybody just yet. I don't think Zach even knows. But I have good news before then. Folks. Zach, I applied for a job yesterday.
Trader Joe's?
There is a casino in the UK that is offering $7,000 to binge watch The Simpsons and give your opinions on why The Simpsons was able to predict the future so many times. You also get free donuts.
It's a casino. Do you have to go to the UK to do this?
No, they pay for your Disney Plus subscription, which
Okay.
I may have or not. I'd have
I
to
have.
check actually. And it's $6,800 American and a box of donuts, and you get you get a month to do this, and then write a report and give your take on why The Simpsons got so many things right in the
Send me the
future.
application. I got like nothing to do. Send me the application. I got time.
I had to do a deep dive for this because I saw the article posted, and then I had to start Googling. I went to the website. It took me 15 minutes to actually get there, but I'm all in. It
Send
sounds
me
great.
the application. I want to go in with you. We'll go to the Looney Bin together. We get to go to England to present our stuff to like the Queen or whoever we're going to present to. I assume it's the Queen.
I thought I'd get knighted for this at the very least. Like,
You
Sir
might.
Handful of Duck Snyder.
That would be amazing to be knighted. Just so good. W and you're Sir. I would be such a dick about it. Call me Sir, goddammit. I would be just Ferris Buellering everywhere.
Sir, I can't get a doctor on a wedding invitation these days.
No, but you could get Sir. Would Julia put Sir Alan Snyder and would she become lady automatically, or she's got to watch The Simpsons too?
I don't know. I just want King Ralph to do it, where your ear. It's a great scene.
What a pull. Yeah, so yeah, I want to do that
Cool.
too.
All right, I will send you that. Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. Everybody, thanks for watching. We love the support. I got nothing else.
Good times. Stop freezing up. Get a real computer.
We out.
Bye-bye.